The post I'm about to share by Dennis Lee was posted yesterday as of November 25th, 2019. This post, after I finish reading, I'm going to click on this link. So there's a link associated with this post. Hello everyone. I am 38 years old and I have lived on Lake Okeechobee my entire life, and most of my downtime as a child and as an adult have been spent on Lake Okeechobee and many other Florida lakes, either fishing, hunting, jet skiing, or just swimming and enjoying the outdoors. Over the last 8 years, I have watched Lake Okeechobee and many other lakes in this state go on a downward spiral the last 5 years in both water quality and wildlife. With that being said, I have heard many opinions on what people are saying is causing this problem on these precious and natural resources, from farming, cattle ranches, sod fields, septic systems, overpopulation, or too much water flow from other sources. And now, the last 5 years, we have started getting feedback from both coasts about algae blooms and red tide. With that being said, in my many years on Lake Okeechobee, I have seen it go through many changes and never really heard too many complaints. In 2011, a lot of Florida's natural lakes, including Lake Okeechobee, began to be aggressively sprayed with herbicides to try and control invasive plant life. Until then, there were hardly ever any complaints until our state's natural fiber began to be disseminated. I understand certain plant life needs to be removed, but that bad part is with the spraying of herbicides, it also kills the non-invasive environment that it's on or around, known as eelgrass, peppergrass, coontail grass, shrimp grass, needlegrass, lily pads, flat reeds, round reeds, and kissimmee grass, all in which is our natural water filters that clean and filter the water while in our lakes. Not to mention that these grasses are the habitat for all aquatic life and bird life. In the last almost 17 years of working in fire rescue, I have taught myself to let things go and don't think about it. It will work itself out, to only find out it does come back in some shape or form. The problem will not fix itself or go away unless something is done. The last few months I have had many stressful days and sleepless nights, partially because of work and 10-month-old boy, but mostly thinking of these issues concerning our state's natural lakes and resources. These lakes that I would love to raise my son and nephews on, fishing, hunting, and learning to respect and enjoy the outdoors like my father did with my brother and I. With that being said, I took it upon myself to start doing some research. I found the budget contract between FWC, who contracted the spraying, and Applied Aquatics, who administers all the spraying of lakes throughout the state of Florida. The contract started in 2011 till the budget is paid in full apparently. I was so blown away by the amount that I sent it to a few friends that worked in the government sector who have experience with these contracts to make sure I wasn't reading it wrong, and they assured me that I was reading it correctly. I also sent it to a friend that works in Tallahassee for our state's government and another lobbyist friend, and both, who do not know one another, came back to me with the same reaction. Somebody is getting filthy rich, and it's not just the spray company. So I'm going to post this budget contract, which is up to date, so everyone can see what is happening. Keep in mind, this is a government contract that is paid for with tax dollars to disseminate our state's natural lakes and rivers. Please read and share if you like. This is not an invasive plant problem. This is a political problem. Thanks for reading. So when you click on this link here, it takes you to Florida Accountability Contract Tracking System. And you see this is the Florida's Chief Financial Officer, Jimmy Patronius. Contract information. Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is the agency. Vendor name, Applied Aquatic Management. Budget. Date of execution, February 2nd, 2011, for over $16 million. Total payment to date, $10 million. General description, invasive plant management, aquatic plant control. Main agency, invasive plant management, aquatic plant control. Contract type, master agreement. Date executed, date of beginning, original end date, new ending date. Statutory authority, contract involves state or federal financial assistance, no. Provide for periodic increases, yes. Periodic increase percentage, 5%. Do the math. Procurement information. Authorized advance payment, no. Method of procurement, agency request for proposal. And that's the Florida statute. There's their reference number. Business case study done, no. Legal challenges to procurement, no. Outsourcing capital improvements. Was the contracted function previously performed by the state? No. Was the contract function considered for insourcing back to the state? No. Did the vendor make capital improvements on state property? No. Budget information. God, $16 million. So here in this column we have reoccurring budgetary amount, account code, fiscal year effective date, FY, cost of simulator, agency amendment reference. And just stay focused on wow, I guess all three, but I'm just going to reference because I want to see the dates. Hear that, $2 million. $100,000 to the Army Corps of Engineers. Decrease in state and Army Corps funding. Increase state funds. ACE, which is Army Corps of Engineers. Amendment 4 contract, FWC, 5% cost increase. $600,000 Army Corps funds for contract. Add language subcontracting and new language public records. New task assignment. Renewal. Correcting funding codes. Increased funding by $500,000. Ooh, as a controlled method. Add 100 to Lake Okeechobee. Add Dwight as a controlled method. Oh my God, 500 acres to east. Don't you guys refer that as Toho? More Toho. Oh no. 300 acres to Lake Okeechobee. Aquatic plant management.